Where are the other players? Wait a minute, this isn't Nuketown!
The apocalypse.
Greetings, comrades! This is Sergei Kilemov, and welcome to part 1 of a special 3-part series for H3VR. Now, as we all know, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War is right around the corner, and that's one of the reasons I'm doing this series of videos. The big reason is that it's almost 10 years since the original Call of Duty Black Ops came to the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and PC. During the Cold War, Alex Mason, Frank Woods, the Numbers, Jason Hudson, Dragovich, Call of Duty Zombies, the multiplayer, Nuketown, all that stuff. It's debatable whether or not it's the best Call of Duty out there, but it's definitely a favorite among many out there. Especially the second entry in the series, which is still my personal favorite Call of Duty of all time. But, I figured to celebrate, we'll show off all the weapons from Black Ops that are in H3VR. Now, there are a few substitutions and stuff like that, so we'll get to those momentarily. But we're going to start off with the pistols, SMGs, and shotguns. Well, technically only one shotgun, but we'll have one as a placeholder. Part 2 will be the assault rifles, there are quite a few. And part 3 will be the machine guns, sniper rifles, and launchers. I say machine gun because looking through IMFDB, there's only one light machine gun in Black Ops that's in H3VR. There was another one, but it got removed from an update in the past, and I haven't seen from it since. So we'll just go with what we have right now. And of course, we start with pistols. And of course, I already covered this little weapon already, the 1911. We all know about it by now. Heck, my first H3VR video was about the 1911. Still one of my favorite pistols ever. It's been around for over 100 years. Very reliable. And with that 45 AC cartridge, very powerful. And of course, my aim hasn't improved at all. No surprise. But yes, we all know about the 1911. Now, we'll show off another one I've already shown off, the Makarov. This is my Russian firearm special. And, yeah. Good old Russian handgun here. Chamber in 9x19mm Makarov. Get the familiar magazine. Also got a drum magazine, which, sadly isn't in Black Ops. Would be cool if it was, though. Makes this a really heavy sidearm to wheel around. And, of course, comes with a suppressor, which, gonna make sure to thread it in. And there you go, suppressed Makarov. But, naturally I'm not going to use that. I just wanted to show off the parts, the attachments that it comes with. Of course, sometimes 8 rounds just isn't enough, so back out the drum magazine, and you can really let loose. Do that in a real firing range and I'll kick you out. So that's the Makarov. Now for the other handgun, the CZ75. Now, this is actually the SP01 Shadow variant. The original CZ75 isn't in here. And funny thing about this pistol, it's extremely anachronistic in the original Black Ops. The original Black Ops took place in the 60s, whereas the CZ75, as you probably told by the name, didn't enter production until 1975. And even then, there's also a fully automatic variant in Black Ops 1, but that wasn't in production until 92, which is nearly a full 30 years after the events of the first Black Ops. So, nice to know Treyarch did the research before putting guns in their game. Their quote-unquote access to experimental weapons. But, now this isn't full auto as far as I'm aware, but that's fine. Of course, you got the safety. Very nice looking handgun, by the way. You know, it's no Beretta, but still looks very nice. And now we get to the Soul Revolver, the Colt Python. Yes, very iconic gun. Seen it in many video games and movies. Always known as the the 357 Magnum, because, well, that was a Chamberlain 357 Magnum. And also comes with a scope, which I believe looks like it goes like that way. I think it goes that way. Maybe no, it goes. Who needs a scope on a revolver? Not me. But naturally, 357, 6 rounds, so you gotta make them count. Yeah, very nice looking gun, isn't that? Very nice. You can see the bolt in the chamber, and if I pull the trigger, that would happen. Very nice looking gun, and you also tour it around like a gunslinger if you want. You know, takes a little getting used to. There's also a snub-nosed variant of Black Ops where the barrel's chopped down, like here. You know, you see that in like detective movies. You have the revolver with the shorter barrel, but that's actually a different revolver they use. Naturally, you have a snub-nosed 357, the recoil would be ridiculous. So, that's it for the pistols. Now let's move on to the SMGs. And I guess we'll start off with the Mach 11. Yes, nice little compact pistol here. Well, machine pistol, but it is classified as an SMG in the game, so take that for what you will. We've got the collapsible stock. I believe that that folds out too. It's got a nice little magazine. Well, I don't really need to use the vest. I'm not going to be shooting these for an extended period of time. See, we got the little sling here that constantly moves around, which I guess doubles as a grip. Yeah, you use the strap there as a grip. How about that? And we have this monstrous looking suppressor, which if I can get it on there. Alright. Now, very fast firing SMG here. How fast? Well, once you take it off single fire, pretty fast. It's no Scorpion Evo 3, but it does the job. Alright, next up, probably one of the most recognizable SMGs in history. Well, not the MP5, we already covered that. We're talking about the Uzi, made by IMI. The classic Israeli SMG, the collapsible stock. There's another version with a fixed wooden stock, but if you ask me, this version here is a much more recognizable Uzi variant out there. There's also a micro Uzi and a mini Uzi, which naturally are much smaller than this. The micro Uzi especially, you can put it in your pocket and you have full auto firepower literally in your pocket. So we got 20 round magazines right here. We also have an extended 32 rounder down there. But we're going to start with the 20 rounder first. And naturally you have the stock out. The recoil will be much more manageable. Single fire and... So you notice it's not like, in the movies and some video games where it fires really, really fast. This actually has a manageable fire rate, which is especially if you had that 32 round magazine. Makes it much more manageable. And somewhat easier to keep on target, provided you pay attention to your target, which I did not. Alright, now, I guess we'll talk about the MP5K here. Now, we all know it's anachronistic in Black Ops, but it's such an iconic weapon. It's coming back in Cold War, so that's good, I guess. But, oh yeah, that's the suppressor for the Uzi, almost as big as the gun itself. But, yeah, I still can't get this prototype foregrip, because this is the foregrip that the MP5K in Black Ops 1 uses. But for the life of me, I cannot get this on here. Maybe it's a different variant I need to bring out, but whatever. But you know about the MP5 by now. HK slap, 9mm firepower. Very good rate of fire. in a nice little package. Of course, if you want more on that, you could check out my MP5 family duo of videos regarding that. But anyway, let's move on to another gun, the Spectre M4. Now this is a pretty interesting weapon. You know, it looks pretty simplistic compared to other guns. You can see almost like it's made of stainless steel or whatever. But what makes this gun cool is not its appearance, but the magazine. Now it's chambered 9x19mm, of course, but what's cool about it, this has 50 rounds. It's a quad stack magazine. Really innovative for this weapon here. Haven't seen many weapons with this kind of magazine since. But with such a massive magazine for a cartridge this small, naturally it's gonna have a nice rate of fire. But sad part, no Picatinny rails, so you know you can't put sights on or anything. You could theoretically put a stock on there, I guess, but it has a built-in foregrip, so that's nice. Makes it much more controllable. But keen-eyed gamers might recognize this gun from GoldenEye, the Phantom. I'm sure there's some gamers out there who played that game. Anyway, let's move on to the Scorpion. Or in here, this is the VZ64 version, the Scorpion. And yeah, Scorpion's a rather infamous weapon in Call of Duty. You know, it does have a cult following. You know, has a very fast rate of fire. But what kills it is a small ammo capacity of 20 rounds. But it fires really fast. So you can imagine going akimbo with these. Yeah. You know, keen-eyed gamers also recognize this gun in GoldenEye as the Club. In fact, I believe this gun was in GoldenEye as well. And I believe the Uzi and well, definitely the revolver, but I think it's a different model they used. But anyway, that's all the SMGs. Now, I'm going to cover the shotguns, or technically shotgun, but I have one down there as a placeholder. But I was going to save this for a later special, but I figured, let's show it off now. You know this gun, the Spaz 12. Good old Italian pump-action shotgun that can also go full auto. Well, not really full auto, but semi-auto. You know, you don't need to use the pump action for this one, though you do have to set it first. I'll explain that in a minute. Let me just get my shotgun cells sorted out here. And it disappeared, okay. Well, there we go. So I have an 8-round shell capacity, 7 in the tube, 1 in the chamber. Well, actually, 8 in the chamber, 8 in the tube, 1 in the chamber, so that's 9 shells. Now, you heard a click. As I mentioned, this could be pump action or semi-auto. Of course, we've got the iconic folding stock. Disengage the safety, so here's the, I believe pump action's on. Yep. Okay. Then we switch it to semi-auto mode. But weird thing about this gun is, you know, many will recognize this as a shotgun from Half-Life, and interesting thing, in both the first and second Half-Life, there's a secondary fire mode where it shoots 2 shells at once, which isn't possible for this gun. You know, we only have 1 barrel here, so how would it load 2 shells at once? That's a question that demands to be answered. But anyway, it won't be answered in this video. So, it's now on, as I mentioned, it's in semi-auto mode. Notice the pump doesn't work. Instead, we have to pull the charging handle here. And then there you have it. Such an iconic such an iconic shotgun. I'm just at a loss of words that I am able to wield this gun in VR. It's one of my favorite shotguns. You see a lot in movies, video games, of course. And this will actually appear again in an upcoming special based on one of my favorite movies of all time. But that won't be until next year. So now, let's show the final shotgun in this video, which the actual shotgun that's in Black Ops is called the Olympia, which is a Beretta break-action over-under shotgun. But while that gun doesn't exist in HCVR, we do have a similar gun, a DT-11, which, not quite the same gun, but it's the same principle. Over-under, break-action shotgun, 2 shells, and yeah. It's another one of those guns that has a cult following. You know, anyone who watches Chaos on YouTube, he knows about this gun. You can't put attachments on it, and you can't aim down the sights, but it actually has a range penalty, I believe, which is kind of weird when you're aiming down the sights. Naturally, you'd be more accurate, but not with this gun here. But regardless, the Olympia may not be an HCVR, but this, I think this will do just fine. So yeah, that's it for part 1 of the Call of Duty Black Ops Special for HCVR. Part 2 will be assault rifles. So, hope you enjoyed this video, and hope you look for the next one. Till then, do svidaniya.
Atoms fall apart. Solar flares arrive. Buildings collapse. Only a few will survive.